Hey y'all, and welcome to another video in my service dog series. Today's video is an especially fun one because I get to talk about different comments and questions I hear as a service dog handler. So we're going to start out with just a definition recap of what is a service animal. A service animal is a dog or miniature horse, as the ADA has decided, that is trained to do work or tasks to help mitigate the symptoms of a disabled person. So that means she can go pretty much anywhere with me. She's sitting right here. That's why I keep referencing that direction. So one of the biggest questions that I get is, how do I get my dog registered? Or, oh yeah, I have a service dog too. I registered 2 weeks ago. No. You don't register a service animal. There is no registry. I cannot say that enough times. There is no registration or certification or identification card or anything for a service animal in the United States. All of those websites you see are scams. Do not fall for them. And if you are using an ID card to gain access to places, you are making it harder on everyone else. Which is why another question I frequently get asked when I go places is, oh, can I see your ID? No. You can't see something that doesn't exist. You can ask me 2 questions. Is that a service animal required for a disability? Yes. What work or tasks has she been trained to do? She does a lot of things, which we'll get into later. Brings me to the next question, which I get from business owners, legally, and from the general public. What does your dog do? So, personally, my dog does a lot of things. She is mostly a psychiatric service dog, responding to mental health episodes, as well as guiding me to my car when I can't find the car and I'm overwhelmed, and alerting me to changes in my breathing or heart rate. She does a lot of great things. There's a lot of service dogs who do a lot of different things, like opening doors, retrieving objects that people dropped, hearing alert dogs, which will alert their handler to phones, alarms, doorbells, their name, things like that. There are seizure alert dogs who will tell their handlers before a seizure happens. There are guide dogs who help the blind or visually impaired navigate the world. There's a lot of different kinds of service dogs. If you need more examples, go check out my service dog overview video, because I think I gave more examples there. I also get the fun question of, who's your dog being trained for? That kind of goes along with the comment of, oh, it's so nice of you to train a service dog for someone else. Isn't it hard to give them up when their training is done? I imagine it would be, but she's mine. She's for me. This is your general reminder that invisible disabilities exist. Generally speaking, I look fine. I can walk, I can go to the store, she doesn't come to work with me. You wouldn't know that I am disabled from looking at me. That the people who assume that she is not for me are forgetting that the spectrum of disabilities is so huge, and you can't see every disability. So that's something to remember, is that before you ask someone, what's wrong with you, remember that that is rude, and that not everyone wants to share their medical history with a stranger. I generally don't answer that question in public. I will say, yeah, I have a couple disabilities, but I'm not going to go into my medical history with someone in the middle of the grocery store. Sorry, I'm not. For people who say, you don't look disabled, I like to come back with, you don't look like my doctor. Because it's not the public's place to decide if I'm disabled or not. It is a decision that my medical team makes. A good question that I get asked is, how long does it take to train a service dog? Generally speaking, it can take about 2 years. That's including their basic manners, so like how they behave in public. We call that just basic manners and obedience. And then task training takes a while too. It depends on what tasks you need. Some are harder to train than others. Some take longer to train than others. And there are some tasks where you have to wait a certain period to begin training. You don't want to start doing mobility work with a dog until their joints are fully formed and you have your vet's approval. And that generally happens about 2 years old. You can start with some groundwork, like getting them used to the certain type of harness that they'll need to wear, or moving into certain positions next to you. But they can't start weight bearing until their joints are formed, or else that poses a danger to the dog. They also tend to ask if they can pet my dog. Generally, no. I need her to focus on me. If I let her get pets, she is going to focus on whoever's getting her pets because she loves pets. Especially if you get that little spot right behind her ear. Then she is just melting in your hand. But if she is focused on getting scritches, she's not going to focus on me. And when we're out in public, especially if I'm having a bad day, I need her focused on me. And that's one of the big reasons you don't pet a service dog, is that can distract them from what they're doing. You don't want to pet any dog without asking because you don't know if they're friendly or not. With the pandemic, there's a lot of service animal teams struggling to reintroduce their dogs to public access work and being around the public because it's tough. Especially people with disabilities who haven't been out of their house in a year and a half, 2 years. It's hard. It's scary. We really need our dogs to focus on us, but also we need to focus on our dogs and make sure that they're okay with this reintroduction to society. Another thing that I hear a lot is, oh, look at the doggy. I also hear this from parents a lot. I understand it from little kids. I do. Dogs are exciting. I still have that mentality, and I'm 25. Every time I see a dog, my brain goes, whoo, dog, and I am gone, right? But you can't let yourself get taken over by the excitement of seeing a dog when the dog is working, because you can't distract them. It is very detrimental to the handler. We train our dogs so that they won't get distracted, but it's so hard. My biggest problem is with parents who do that and tell their kids, oh, look at the dog. I can understand if you want to make a teaching moment and say, hey kids, look at the dog over there. That dog is working. They have a special job to do. That's why they're in this store where we don't usually see dogs. That's great. I will love you forever if you have that teaching moment with your kids and do it in a respectful manner. But if you're just getting excited with your kids in the, oh my god, a dog, maybe don't. Please don't. I can't tell you how many times a day I hear, ooh, what a pretty dog. I'm not going to respond to you, honestly. If I hear it 15 times over the span of 5 minutes, just walking up the same aisle in the grocery store, I'm not gonna. Sorry. I'm focused on her, she's focused on me. We're both trying to get our shopping done and get the heck out of there. I also get a lot of, ooh, look, that dog is wearing sunglasses. Because she does have sunglasses. These protect her eyes, both from the sun and from things that are at her height. Her eye level is level with the bottom of clothing racks or purses that people are carrying. Things like that. So we want to protect her eyes. She's also kind of an idiot of a dog and likes to shove her face into bushes in her off time. That's why you can probably see there are some scratches in there. We also hear a lot of, oh, that dog is wearing shoes. Yes, she is wearing shoes because the pavement is hot and we want to protect her paws. All this equipment that she wears serves a purpose other than just looking cool or looking cute or dressing her up. It takes a lot of effort to get her in all her gear that she needs to be protected and safe. And I don't necessarily enjoy doing it because that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy out of me. I don't have that much energy in a day, so I don't want to do this. However, I want to keep her safe. So I am going to put her in her boots. I am going to help her wear her glasses and things like that. So pointing them out, just bear in mind you're probably the 20th person to tell me that. Another comment that I get that I admittedly can't stand is, I wish I could take my dog everywhere too. What you're saying is, it'd be cool to have a travel buddy, to have a companion with me. What I'm hearing is, I wish I was disabled too. Because you gotta remember, for us to take our dogs places, we have to be disabled. We have to struggle with some kind of medical condition that severely impacts our daily function. That is the definition of a disability. So saying that is really hurtful, actually. It also belittles the training that we do, because we do a lot of training to get to where we can go everywhere with our dogs. It also points to the people who get their dogs registered or fake their animals as service animals. Because there are people who do take their pets everywhere, and those put us in danger because those animals aren't trained to handle public spaces and busy spaces like that. They do not go through the bomb-proofing that we do. And it does create a dangerous and stressful environment. I know I'm not the only handler who has an anxiety attack when they see an untrained pet in a store. Even if I don't have Delilah with me, I still panic a bit because it's so rude and so disrespectful. And it's frustrating knowing that the animal is there and the store isn't doing anything about it. The store should be asking the 2 questions when they enter the doors to make sure that they're keeping everyone safe. Another comment that I have heard before, though not as often, I'll give credit there, is that people think it's mean making dogs work every day. My dog loves her job. I do not ask her to go out with me unless she wants to. She gets the choice. When I pull out her vest and ask her if she's ready to work, she dives headfirst into that vest, and then we go. If she doesn't want to, if she doesn't show excitement, cool. Guess I'm not going to the grocery store. It's fine. I will not push her beyond what she wants to do. I will not make her do something she is uncomfortable doing. Our dogs are treated so well, and they are so loved, and they are so cared for, that it is ridiculous. I have an entire room of stuff in my house that is entirely for her. She is so spoiled, so loved, that it's crazy to me knowing that there are people out there that think service animal handlers are abusing their dogs by making them work. These dogs love their jobs. Next time you see a service animal, you'll notice their tails are wagging. They're excited to do what they love. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about, or if you have other questions that you want answered about service dogs, go ahead and drop them below. I will answer them as soon as I can, because I love talking about service animals. In case you couldn't tell from this entire week of videos. It is something I am passionate about. I want to spread awareness about, because you don't really see a whole lot of service animals in public. But when you do, it's nice to have a little bit of idea of how to interact. The idea of how to interact with them, don't. It's that simple. We're just trying to do our shopping like you are. We just might need medical equipment to do it, whether that's a wheelchair, a cane, a walker, a dog. We're just trying to do our shopping too. So, anywho, if y'all have any questions, drop them below, and I hope you enjoy this video. Check out some of the other videos in my service dog series if you haven't already, and I will catch you next time. Thanks!